Today's guest is Craig Willet, the owner of WILLET Electric, the family-run business powering Marthas Vineyard.
Took over my father's electrical business.
From high-end homes to late-night emergencies, Craig built his name on trust, grit, and the power of showing up. But more than that,
The business part of it's probably been going on about 25 years.
he's now laying the blueprint for the next generation of electricians on Marthas Vineyard, showing them how to get ahead by doing the work right. Let's get into it. So, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of MVFounders. And here we have Craig Willet. He's basically just been like one of the heavy hitters on the island from just a long time, just a lot of years on the island. And now we just want to figure out how he's gotten here, the things he's been doing, how he handles the island, what's his experience in doing business here, and just to tell us a little bit more about what's life like here doing business on Marthas Vineyard. So, thanks again for doing this with me, Craig.
No problem, anytime.
You're a really cool guy. And
Thanks.
just the fact that I got the opportunity to do this, it's really cool. All right, so one of the first questions that I want to ask you, who is Craig and what is WILLET Electric?
It was Craig. So I guess Craig is somebody who's been here on the island for a long time.
Yep.
Long time. 45 years out of 55. So I was at West Tisbury School as a little kid. And then later took over my father's electrical business. So I have a lot of experiences.
That is really cool. So how long you feel like you've been here on the island just doing business?
The business part of it's probably been going on about 25 years because I left to go be a cop.
So this was like an acquisition business, basically?
Yes. My father retired after 40 years, so
Whoa.
it came in time for me to come back and take care of it.
What was that transition like from like actually having your father, knowing that he's your dad, and then just taking over a business?
Complicated, definitely complicated. He knows it's complicated. He'll probably watch this, so I better be careful, right? We know with fathers and son, the funny part about us is that we get along great as long as we're not working together. If we're working at the same place, it's just like we butt heads. We've always butted heads. It was, a known thing. But now after the transition and I started doing, because of course he wanted to do things his way or the old way. And then of course the younger person, want to do it a different way, the newer way.
So wait, what are some of the new ways you feel like are things that you could be like, it's outdated, that he would have, that would convert for him well in the past, but now you're like, okay, there's this better way.
Yeah.
What were some of those things?
Well, even the biggest jobs that we do with the electric buses I was telling you about, they obviously you didn't have that stuff back then. So when it comes to all the chargers and the Tesla chargers and all the solar stuff that is come up now, like in the olden days, it was just get electrical done and get people's lights on and their and their stuff in their house or like the bowling alley. But now it's all green, so that's a big difference. And how we do everything is more modern.
You guys have basically modernized the island when it comes on to just doing electrical work here.
Yeah, yep. And it's funny because the VTA is run by somebody that I went to high school with, Angie, and she's been there 25 years. And she started the whole thing with diesel buses.
Wow.
And it's been that way the whole time. And coincidentally, when I took over, she decided to convert everything to electric. So every bus you see on the vineyard has a big battery on top of it, and it charges with 2 huge chargers, like giant Teslas. Yeah. Every night.
So majority of all the buses here are all electric. So why did they do that change? Like,
for green purposes, it's all solar on top of the roof up there. Yeah. And it's not pushing diesel out all over the vineyard, and they're not sitting down in Negertown, with a diesel engine running, Vineyard Haven, Oakblock here.
So because people would like inhale
terrible.
That stuff.
Yeah, terrible smell, terrible noise.
I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Exactly.
That's not something that I've even thought about. So that were some of the things that you wanted to just attack when it comes on to doing like a modernized way, and he wouldn't basically do that. And
well, it just wasn't there. That wasn't just happening. It wasn't so much that you didn't want to do it. It just wasn't. That wasn't how we were doing. It wasn't what we were doing. We're mostly just wiring houses, wiring restaurants, the ocean view.
So who are some more like you have a lot of competition just doing business here on the island? Do you have?
Not really. Competition doesn't exist because
Yeah.
everybody's just trying to get as much done as possible. There's just a shortage of electricians.
Shortage.
Oh yeah, big time shortage.
So
Big
wow.
time.
So to be honest, you're trying to say there's more demand than supply.
And then ever.
Than ever.
Than ever. Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we lost some people, so lost some electricians.
So what are some of like the everyday demands that islanders would be like, okay, I need an electrician for? How could you help some of those people? Like, what are some of the things you're helping them with?
Well, like I said, we're sitting here at the bar in the bowling alley, and everybody knows this place. And Michael needs to keep it open because everybody comes here,
right,
and everybody loves it. The ocean view is gone, and we worked there for 30 years. And then it burned down, and I was there for the fire all day, fighting the fire, the place that I had been since high school.
That is really cool.
Yeah, and my father was best friends with the owner, so the other owner, Ronnie Jackson. So things like that, that's time. Those are changes that we see. And as far as the work is concerned, these guys need the stuff that they need to be done here or everywhere all over the island, and then just not enough people to do it.
Let's go back a little bit first, because doing what you do is quite a dangerous job, and it's really an important job for real. So like, how did you even develop the trade? Like, how did you even develop the skill of just being an electrician? And did you go to school, and how long did you go to school for?
It's good you said that, because it's funny, it's the same. People will say, "Oh, I'm not going to touch that. I'm scared of it." These people are scared. Yeah, they're scared of the danger. Yeah, exactly. They're scared of getting shocked. They're scared of causing a fire or being in a fire. And if you grow up with it, it's not. It doesn't. You're not affected by that. That's what makes it more in demand, because a certain amount of people don't want to take a risk, and there is a lot of risk. I mean, a lot of people. There's a lot of. You certainly, at a minimum, you could definitely get shocked.
Yeah,
and that's not fun.
So how long did it take you to even do that stuff?
Well, since I was a little kid, doing it my whole life. I grew up with it. I'm used to getting shocked.
You went to school?
And then, of course, later you go to school.
Yeah.
I went to Cape Cod Tech. I had to go off island to do it. That's another thing. School here is challenging. But they've gotten together a new program for in the nighttime at the high school.
Yeah.
And that's much better now.
Wow.
And all my life, anytime I went to an electrical class, there was like 10 people most. Now 30, 40.
Wow.
Before they fill up this room.
So how did people start becoming interested?
Because of that demand, and because and they can make pretty good money. You got to be able to make good money to do good work. And
so here on the island, say for instance, you employing people here and stuff, probably because of that demand. Do you typically pay people more than what they're?
Try to. My motto is to pay as much as humanly possible. Wow. So I want to, because most people get their license. As soon as they get their license, they're going to get a van and go off on their own.
Really?
Yeah, which is a good thing. I mean, that's what everybody wants to do, and it's good. There's a lot of independent people out there can do smaller jobs, but there's a lot of demand here for big stuff, big projects.
Wow. So like even doing that, but say for instance, you doing that now. What do you do to make your job position sticky when it comes on to like your employees? Just like you said, because if he gets his license, he'll just go on his own. What do you do different in your business that would make a person be like, okay, I'd rather stick to this than just go do my own?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because it even attracts me to wanting to sometimes just want to work for somebody, because if you're going to make the trick is to make the same amount of money. So if the electricians, whether they're licensed or working on it, are making the same money, if they go get a van or they have to deal with all the headaches, but if they're going to make the same money, most of the guys that work for me feel like it's just nice because I have to deal with all the nonsense.
Yes.
They can just do their job.
Yes. Wow.
Work on the buses.
That is actually pretty cool. So you've basically just made it very comfortable for them to just realize that, okay, it's best to actually work for you rather than to go do your own thing. But now, how do you deal with somebody that would say he's a really good person, like he's a really good worker, and like this guy could almost take over my position here?
Absolutely.
How do you deal with team management and just creating leaders and doing things like that?
Yeah, it's just sort of self-evident that people will stay in that way because they don't want to deal with the nonsense. There's a lot that goes with the inspections and the owners and the customers who are high demand. They want what they want when they want it.
Wow.
And they're on you. So the guys know, like, they don't have to deal with that.
Yes.
That's an incentive not to deal with it. And trust me, like I said, sometimes I don't want to deal with it.
Wow.
No, believe me.
I mean, that is actually crazy. So, say for instance, when it comes on to like, you took over the business from your father, but I know how it goes when you do an acquisition. There's still work to do, right? There's still a lot to do.
Totally.
So how did you deal with scaling and just basically keeping the same type of reputation and while growing? How
Yes.
did you do that?
As far as scaling, I mean, like you said, there's a lot of work to do. One of the ways is most people don't believe this because they don't see me do it, but
Yeah.
I do the work. Like if Mike calls me here for something
Yeah.
that I can just do without sending a whole crew, then I just fix it. Especially the service calls. You know, something's broken. One of the restaurants or the Harborview, whatever. I'll do that, and then the guys don't have to worry about it, and vice versa. You know, then simultaneously I'll get the guys to do the bigger jobs. Yeah. But there's just a lot of moving parts.
I mean, that's like, just to think about how complicated it is to just run an electrical company, because running normal businesses to me right now is actually hard. But when it comes down to like supply chain and just doing your services,
Yes.
is it good operating on the island like this? Like, do you have a good supply chain to get like products?
Yeah, it's been better than it's ever been.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges
stores.
you deal with like that?
Well, in the old days, there was only 2 stores, Granite City and Baines. Wow. And now we have another one, CES, up at the airport. But with the more people there are, the more competition there is, the better it is for us. And then we just get stuff over on the boat or on a plane. What else? As far as getting better, it's just so much more work that's what's difficult, is getting all that stuff.
Getting like things over. So do you ever have to like go get things off island and
all the time.
Have to get products off island?
All the time.
How do you deal with
Every
the
week.
ferry doing that?
Yeah, we either just get to put it on. Sometime last year, I went over and picked up a huge piece of equipment, drove it down myself, put it on the
Yourself?
Patriot. Put it on the Patriot. It weighed 250 pounds too. Yep.
Yeah, that's like
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
So like you doing that stuff. So that's while your guys are just doing jobs.
While they're working, yep.
While they work.
Yeah.
So basically, in the business right now, how many people you have working for WILLET?
There's 7 or 8 total with the office. But last year, or 2 years during COVID, somewhere we were around 14, 16 people, depending.
So you guys like, wow, so that's such a strong team. But when it comes on to just you basically like dealing with the challenge of, okay, I have a team here, I have a group of people who are all doing this same business and basically working for just on the island. How is it when it comes on to like, do you have to deal with companies coming off the island, like off-island companies?
They come over here and do a ton of work, but we don't even notice them.
So they're competing with you guys here.
But like I said, there's no competition because everybody's trying to just do as much of the work as possible. So it's not even
to supply the demand.
Yeah. So there's so much happening right now. I mean, there's like a Windermere Hospital type in Eggertown. That's humongous. There's 40 units going in Eggertown.
40
right now.
units.
Yeah, we just finished 20 units in Tisbury for housing. We're doing island autism. It's just inundation. But the guys, my 6 guys, handle that really well. You just break them up into 2. More experienced guy with a newer guy, and then he hopefully is teaching him. And of course, these guys were being taught by the other guys. Well, it's a 4-year cycle.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
Really cool. So now you mentioned something about there's like a large demand, right? And what I know about Marthas Vineyard so far is it's like a seasonal place, right?
Yeah,
the
there's
market
that too.
is very seasonal.
Yeah, that's a huge factor.
So does that affect you since that there's still like a large demand?
It always feels like during this time of year it's still relaxed, and then all of a sudden there's going to be 100,000 more people, and 10,000 of them have houses here and they want their air conditioning, or they want a dryer wired, or their hot water doesn't work.
You experienced like the
massive.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, from January to February, where it's supposedly calm, but that's totally busy now.
For you?
Yeah, totally. We're just full, and then we're just trying to do as much as we can, and then it basically doubles, triples with the inundation of just people and emergencies.
You don't have a down You don't have a down period.
Maybe a little bit in August or a little bit in, people don't want you at their house in August, believe it or not. No. Yeah, August or February. It's, because it's middle of winter, or especially when it's really bad weather.
That's what I'm talking about. Because, all right, so look, that's what I'm talking about, because traditional businesses here on the vineyard, right? They only have 5 months, probably 4 months of the summer from May to like September or probably the end of October.
Yeah.
You aren't affected by that market change.
Not as much. I mean, we certainly don't close like some restaurants.
That's what I'm saying.
Some stores.
Have to close.
Yeah, they
some people have to
close. I mean, so we're the trades is not like that. That's
what I'm saying. So you're experiencing a total different side then.
Yeah.
Because
and think about what you just said. Not only everybody I just talked about, all those stores open. All the they open their store, they open their restaurants for the summer, and they don't have this. This is broken. The ice machine is broken. Or it needs a wire. You know what I mean? The calls are just crazy. Just can you please help me? Can you please help me? Every day I have a emergency. And again, it's an emergency to them.
Because it's just, I talk to a lot of guys like you, and now I'm realizing that some people experience the heavy, because what happens is in the summer here in the vineyard, all right, say the winter, right? There's about 20,000 people max, right?
Yeah.
And then in the summer it goes up to about 100,000 people. Like the
150.
150 even sometimes.
It's crazy.
Like peak August.
Because of the day, 2 people come over.
See?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that whole, people who are in restaurant business, people who are in the hospitality business, they're the type of season that they experience. You're never experiencing that.
Yeah.
And you're just basically you're basically a year-round ongoing business.
We get that plus everything you just said. So it is, like I said, it's complete madness. I could easily have 50 guys. I could have 50. I could have 25 trucks out there and be running all of them nonstop. But
why not? Why not do that?
Because it's just too much to manage. I have a hard time managing, the crews that when I was at 10 or 14, 6 or 8 crews out there. It's just because there's so much of the management part of that to do.
Yeah.
And
so now you have a huge crew. Are you the one actively micromanaging, or do you just allow people to just do
Well, it's funny you said that, because like you said, back to my father, he liked to watch everything. Like he was very, I always joke with me as micromanagement, and I'm not. I'm more of hands off.
But it is a dangerous job. Like you kind of have to.
Listen, you certainly want to watch the guys for safety. We always have safety is a huge factor. So and they know me as far as being very safe, being a firefighter.
Yeah.
So.
You're a firefighter.
Well, yeah. Town fire, so we watch things very closely. Yeah,
I know. I sense like a real disciplined side of you.
Yeah, can be.
Especially talking to you, I can just tell that you're like a disciplined guy.
I'm a big believer in safety. I taught this class up at the high school for electrical.
Taught a safety class?
No, all electrical. With Cole Powers is the head teacher.
Yep.
And then there's Kevin Needham. Needham Electric is the other teacher. For a while there, I helped out Cole try to do some of the heavy lifting, but it's the same thing. It's like I said, there's 30, 40 guys in there now. So, it's hard to, and they're all trying to be in different divisions. You got guys who just started, and then you got guys who've been there for 4 years. So they're basically like seniors that are ready to graduate, ready to take the test. Like the guy who works for me, Dovin. And they need to break it up. It's just because it's just a lot. As with the rest of it, it's all a lot. Too much for me. I had to take a break from it.
When it comes on to just you seeing how electrical technology working, and you see most of what's happening, what's something that you feel like the island should have when it comes on to electrical wise, but they don't? That's Marthas Vineyard, right?
The vineyard, what they don't have.
Interesting. From the electrical standpoint, what could improve the place that they don't have that they should have?
Well, previously we used to have a lot of problem with the power from Eversource. The power, because the power comes across under the water, and that was problematic. Right. But Eversource, I don't know if you noticed, they're doing a lot right now to fix it. It's had a lot of issues. But other than that, we're like cutting edge when it comes to, like I said, Tesla or charging buses or solar everywhere or.
I drive a Tesla.
Huh?
I drive a Tesla.
See, yeah, there you go. So when it comes to charging that thing, I mean, it's a great place for that kind of thing because the distances you're not trying to drive the maximum and worry about running out. Yeah, we had more, and then some seem to be disappearing, like up at the store and stuff. So I don't know what's happening with that.
The free ones just seem to be like vanishing.
There you go. So we need that. That's what we need.
Like at the RMV, they used to be like, weren't they free? And now they're paid.
Well, not only that, but they seem like they're plugging in all their cars there. so that's not helping us at all, right?
So wait, okay. So say for instance, a person, independent people who want chargers in their yards or probably on their street.
We do it all the time.
Can they do that?
Yeah, we do it once, twice a week, twice a month.
Whoa.
Well, now, because as many as I can squeeze it for people. Their own private Tesla chargers or Jeep or, hybrids even. We put in those chargers so that they can charge at the house. So all the time.
If you wanted to put like a free Tesla charger or just charger overall for cars, right? Yeah. Who pays for that?
Well, Tesla used to pay me to put them in for Tesla to
for
be
free?
Yeah, at the Harborview there was 2 of them that even you didn't have to stay there to use them. So they were free. Yeah, they were, but they're gone. Things got changed. Yeah. But otherwise, say like up at the parking rides or any of the parking rides, and they did put some down behind Eggertown Pizza. I didn't do them, but somebody else put them there, and I don't know what they're exactly.
But those are paid.
The deal with those, you got to pay. Those are paid. I think that's the problem. I think they're converting from the old thought of being free.
But where does that? Who gets that cash flow? Like
exactly, probably whoever put them in. They're expensive. They're expensive to put in. That's the problem.
Seeing that you have like electrical license and all that stuff, could you just say, "Hey, I want to put a charger there somewhere"?
Yeah. It's just all about the same thing, like whose property it is. Even here, like say Mike wanted to put them in the parking lot for barn people. Anybody who comes to the barn while they're at the bowling alley, at the barn, charge a car.
And he would like.
That's a perfect example of what if he decided to charge. But like you said, it'd be nice to be an incentive. He's the kind of guy who put it in to have people just have a place to charge their car while they're here at the bowling alley.
People just coming here and not using the restaurant and just charging their cars.
That could be, but mostly they're pretty honest. I found when it comes to that.
That's one of the main things I've seen about this island. Like people here are pretty honest. Bro.
That's true. Yeah,
because they're like easy to work with. Yeah, and it's just easy to just get around. If I'm like thumbing a ride, they'll stop. Like somebody. Yeah.
Well, before the buses, that's all the way we used to do.
Wow.
That's all we had to do. Yeah.
Wow.
It was thumbing a ride.
Man, that is actually crazy.
It was everywhere. You used to see people every single time you drove around. Somebody was hitchhiking because there was no buses at all. Not in the 70s, 80s, not in the 80s. That didn't start till the 90s, I think.
From doing business for so many years here, you've seen like the houses change, the type of style of construction change. Does that affect your business where you say like, oh, this is a different style, we might have to go learn some stuff again? Like, does that ever happen to you guys? Yeah,
well, also back in the old days, things were more cookie cutter. They just put smaller houses up faster and more just your standard house. Yeah. So you come in and wire that quick. Now a lot of them are bigger and crazier. You get the big crazy houses, of course, everybody knows about.
Yeah.
And those are fine too, but obviously they take a long time, and they have a lot of parts, a lot of same thing, moving parts everywhere. Like all the equipment needs to be wired, and all the like crazy lighting now, all this LED lighting. So.
That is actually, so you've seen changes that's happening.
Yeah.
Does it affect you? You have to.
Well, we just adapt and wire. We can pretty much wire anything when it comes to especially now. The good part now is with the technology. In the old days, you had to like figure it out, or you had to call somebody else to help you. Right. Now you just Google it. YouTube video of how to wire anything, even the most intricate circuit, or pump or something. We can just Google that pump.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, it's nice.
So it's like, remember you said the demand is actually crazy. So you don't have to do any traditional marketing or anything like that.
No,
you have to do that stuff.
Never. No, it's funny you said that because I'm quite the opposite. We don't advertise, and then we don't have I may even close down the website. We don't put any advertising out there at all.
Interesting.
Nope, not at all. It's one of the few places in the world that you'll ever see a business that
so you're like
doesn't have marketing.
Really funny you said that, bro, because I'm telling you, I spoke to people, like we did a lot of podcasts, by the way, I spoke to a lot of people.
That's fair.
And brand awareness, advertising is probably one of the most important things, especially when you're just starting. Right?
True.
But for you now, you've basically have so much demand that you're like,
yes.
Listen, we are trying to not advertise.
No, that's the opposite battle, which is a hard problem to have. You got to say, sorry, we just can't help you. I'm sorry. Every day I say it, I'm sorry.
Are you serious?
Yes, every day. Twice today. Twice today.
So hear me out. Like, what are some of the things that you're saying no to on a daily basis?
Well, it's funny because like downstairs I was talking to her about her hot water heater. So her hot water heater died. So we got to wire it. I got to put a new one. But I just can't get anybody over there because they're all obligated to where the other person who needs it.
They have jobs. And they have
but it's okay. Cause usually I have a pretty good network of the guys that have gone on their own or that I know, and I can send them and say, hey, send this guy over there. Who's one of my main guys is there's Floyd, but there's another guy, Archie. I don't know if you met Archie. Archie's a good dude. Yeah, he got his license. He's out there in a white van taking care of business. I said people call Archie. He'll come over. Yeah, take care of it.
Man, that is
good.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's good.
And so say for instance now people here and a person here that would be watching this podcast. He's 22. He just got his license. He's on the vineyard. He would be looking up to somebody like you. What's advice you feel like you could give somebody like that?
You mean electrical license?
Yeah.
All right.
Like trades, like
just if he just got his license, he's that young.
Yep.
And I talk to these guys all the time. Same thing. Just do quality work. Don't rush. Don't try to do. We make enough money. And we have enough time to not have to rush and not have to be unsafe. Same thing like rushing up a ladder or climbing over a ditch or getting too close to a machine because you're in a hurry. You know what I mean? It can get bad quick.
What about that's actually cool when it comes on to safety.
Yes.
What about structuring a business?
The business.
What could you even tell him to structure his business correctly? Based on things that you wish you known when you just started.
Yeah. Well, the same thing. I mean, obviously, you all want to make money as easy as possible without problems. You get problem customers who you got to avoid problem customers like mines, like a minefield, seriously, because you'll blow you up because they'll take all your time and they won't pay, and they'll never be happy. There are many people here who are never happy, and no matter what you do, so you got to avoid them because they look for the new guys. That's probably what I would say the best. My father used to say it all the time. They're looking for the newer guys because they know they can take advantage of them. They don't have to pay them, and they have no power because they're not strong enough to defend themselves in court. At a court case to try to get paid.
Wow.
And they're too busy scrambling. They just know this. They prey on them. And they're bad. Those are the people you got to avoid like crazy anywhere in the world, right? Yeah. Because the newer guys are like, well, I'll just take every job because I got to get,
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like they need to take jobs because a person who's just starting his business is just
right.
Dude, I know you said avoid crazy customers, but I got to make.
But otherwise, I'm sitting home with a van. That's and insurance, liability insurance, exactly. Yeah, overhead. You got to keep your overhead low. Whoops.
So that's like a huge thing for you, though, like insurance-wise.
Insurance, all the overhead, just insurance on the vans, liability, the payroll, all the
so
materials.
So business like yours, you would have like a BOP insurance, like business owners policy.
Yeah.
And then you'd have liability.
Liability is big one. Workers' comp for us because we have more people, so we got workers' comp. That costs a fortune. Because the same thing, trying to protect against people getting hurt.
Yeah.
If they get hurt on the job, so it's important, So
wow.
It costs you a lot of money.
So all right, so I don't know if you can even say it on the spot, bro. But
all right, this is private. Nobody.
Yeah, I know. What's probably the craziest, dangerous thing you've seen, like here, when it comes down to like electrical, like stuff? What's the dangerous thing?
Electrical.
On the vineyard specifically.
Most of the time, I see the guys setting the aluminum ladder up next to the power lines outside, trying to paint, or they just don't realize that's gonna get you quick. And like 2 weeks ago, a guy fell off a ladder 30 feet and died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so there's fatalities. There's the same situations off island happen here. So OSHA is around, and you got to wear hard hats. You got to wear goggles. You got to wear you have all your safety equipment.
Yeah.
In that case of that guy, he should have had his harness on.
Yeah.
A harness is required up high because if you fall with the harness, you're fine. But if you fall without it, something worse could happen.
Probably crazy. So like say for instance, to other companies here on the vineyard, what safety advice would you give that you've basically seen people, they're making those mistakes, but you never had a platform to be like, hey guys, you guys got to stop do this. So what's an advice?
I think the biggest thing is that I've realized for myself too is you're doing something, whatever you're gonna do, you go to do it. Maybe we'll climb a ladder, or or if you're going near the machine, you're like, I'll just do it real quick. This should be okay. There's always like this little gut saying, don't do that. Maybe I'm not gonna do that. Even me now, I still walk somewhere and go, that could collapse. Wow. I'll walk over there. It takes 2 seconds more, but people get too caught up with what they're doing, or they get, and then that's when problems start, take place. So it's always just better. I mean, no installation of electrical, no light, no nothing we do is worth your, eye injury or back injury. Some of my guys suffer because they work hard. Wow. And things are we all get sore, and it's hard picking up big wire. And
it's actually crazy. But so now you seem pretty healthy right now.
I try.
How have you avoided danger for so many years?
I was actually very lucky because I wasn't as adamant before.
Are you serious?
So I got very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Went up on a lot of ladders. We did a lot of spotlights back in the day.
So I hate ladders.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's not my thing.
High is not good. No, you wouldn't like the ladder at the fire ladder. And it bounces too when they bounce. Yep. So
ladders ain't my situation.
It's tricky. Yeah. When you get up there, it's
when you think about the ladder just falling down.
That's what you think about. Yeah.
So why am I gonna go up there?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that.
Well, the thing, especially nowadays, that thing costs $100. The harness is $100. You put it on, you strap it in here, it goes under your legs and everything.
Yeah.
And also, if you fall, it doesn't smash hard. It doesn't catch you hard like a rope. It has a bungee cord, so you actually bounce.
Oh, okay.
So the guys realize it takes that little time to put it on, and when you do get up there and you hook into something, now you feel better because you feel like even if the ladder fell out from below me, I may be hanging here and I even maybe fell 20 feet, but I'm going to catch like a bungee cord. And they even have a new one that if you pull it, it will.
What do you touch?
Something, anything higher, anything. Even if you got to put something, you got to find something.
Yeah.
Even if you have to go to the other side of the building to put something to catch you, then you do it. Yeah, because again, no spotlight is worth your life or being paralyzed.
Oh my God.
In a wheelchair for the rest of your life.
That's probably one of my worst fears: falling off something, just experiencing like some crazy head concussion injury.
100%.
That's probably one of my worst fears is just some head concussion thing.
Yeah, me too. Or breaking my neck and being paralyzed. That's not where you want to be.
Well, that's true. I don't want to be paralyzed, but one of the main things is to just not lose like my memory, my brain.
Yeah, getting hit in the head.
And just not being able to operate from like a intellectual standpoint.
Exactly.
Not being able to think.
Exactly.
And just put together things.
Yeah, that's always.
I know, I couldn't do that.
That's the good advice right there. I think that's
crazy to me.
The good advice is don't take chances.
Yep.
And then you could have a long career.
So, what's a mindset that kept you going over the years, especially when things become so challenging that you're like, why am I even doing this? What's a mindset that you had that just kept you going?
Well, it's funny you said that because I have it's been challenging, especially since COVID. COVID was really tough.
Yeah.
Everything closing down.
Yeah.
It was not easy for us, and luckily I was working on 911, so we worked on some of the towers and everything for the radios. But what I do is I go on TikTok or Google and just watch motivational videos. Where they're saying just keep going, you gotta get going. Yeah, stop whining. Don't you can do it. Just hearing that all the time
reinforces
helps you. Yeah, because then you're not just sitting there. The worst thing you want to do is start scrolling through stuff that's like, I know you're feeling down right now. Doesn't this suck? Yeah, because people try to look for people who feel like them. I'm feeling bad right now, so I'm going to talk to these people who feel bad also, and then everybody's bringing themselves. Now everybody's bringing down. You know what I mean? You got to. There's guys that I watch, like The Rock, for example. The Rock is a big one. Yeah. To say, knock it off. And you look at him, and he's inspiring. That guy's inspiring.
He's
ripped, and also, but
successful.
brought himself up from some difficult times with his father and everything.
Wow.
And he just stops and says, I'm going to keep working, going to keep going. Even back to Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, man, that guy, You know, they said nobody could understand him, but he became huge.
That's really cool. But here in the vineyard, it's very special being here. And because it's just like such a small island, right?
Yeah.
You have a strong community of people.
Yes.
So because of that community, right, how do you maintain trust where you've been operating throughout the years? Because, you know, like if you screw over one guy, he's going to be like, okay, like, hey, guys, don't use this guy. You know?
No, I know what you mean.
How have you maintained that for years?
Well, like I said, there's so much that even when things that go sour, or the people who are difficult, I'm saying it nicely, you are just able to deal with like anywhere else, any other job, even whether it's off island, on island, you just try to focus on the good people. You focus on the good customers.
How do you spot that?
Well, anybody can tell when you got somebody who's going to be good and not be a real problematic.
You'd have Grandpa Jenkins that like, I'm a nice guy, and then
100%. It happens to me all the time. All the time. I've had them switched on me, and I'm like, I can't believe this is like, they tricked me. You know, you basically feel tricked, fooled, and then you just gotta go. You move on. Like I said about the rockets, you just gotta move on from that.
Wow.
You can't dwell on it. You gotta move forward. I just try to keep moving forward. But trust me, it happens to me a lot. Wow. You seem to be a magnet for problematic people and problematic customers. Bro. Even today, even with weeding out as many as I can, I'm still getting trouble. Today, like 4 hours ago, trouble on it.
Man, I can just imagine like just you doing that and just you basically getting going. So I know you said you have a bunch of guys and stuff like that, but are you hiring? Do you continuously hire? Are you still looking for talent?
Depending on how things are, you hire according to what you got going on.
Yeah.
Things right now are changing a little bit, and we're scaling down a little bit. So we've been trying to sort of focus on being a little bit smaller. So that's just where it is right now.
That's pretty cool. So, all right. So you're not looking to do any massive scale of the business. You kind of just want to keep it where it's at.
Yeah, I tried big and bigger, and it didn't. It was much more difficult. Much more difficult.
But I mean, the challenge is always going to be there.
True.
But it's just, you have to learn. It's not just, hey, it's not possible to do it. It's I don't know how.
No, I've seen companies like Glenn with 300 guys. And you wonder, I mean, there's not just one guy running that. It's like a military operation, and I realized what they do. And even when I worked at the casino off island, what they do is they divide it into teams of 10. So you're going to have 10 electricians, and then you're going to have one sub-foreman.
You have a leader.
And then for every 10, that's 100 guys, you got a general foreman. And then the general foreman. So they report that way. Like it's like a military structure. But you need obviously military type discipline. You need more. You'd have a lot of guys like at Mohegan Sun when I did that. There was what do we have? 200 electricians. It's a $1.2 billion facility. That I just got to check this fire. Make sure it's not fire. No problem. It's not.
Yeah, I can cut these. So just to wrap up a little bit, because we're gonna wrap up soon, but. You just doing that now, that structure right there of how you would structure that entire team and business like that. Is it something that you know how to do, or you just don't want to?
No, I don't, and it's unique to the island because it's hard to be that large. Any of those large scale companies, they already come over here, so they kind of they'll take the hospital, they'll take the firehouses, the police stations. I mean, there's like 6 of those projects running right now. It used to be one every once in a while. They just finished Tisbury School. It's $50 million.
I know.
I mean, the electrical contract was massive. Yeah, this is a crazy situation. Project. Yes, I know. I actually went there in 1979, but it wasn't that big. And those kind of projects, and the one in Eggertown, those are just large projects with a lot of electricians, a lot of people, and they kind of push us out of the way. But for me, at the end of the day, I'm okay with that.
So, yeah, man, just talking to you about the island here. Really cool, and just really getting to understand more of what's like doing business here, and just what's it like talking to different business owners, and just the experience. And I can just tell that the experience that people would have just doing business off the island versus on the island, it's a totally different experience. Because based on some of the things you're telling me right now, literally like trying to not have too much customers. Another person's business is they need customers. They're hunting for leads. They're doing ads. They're trying to market here, there, there.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't even have a marketing department.
Right, absolutely not. Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of how Tesla operates. The company Tesla operates.
I think of places that remind me of similarities would be like New York City.
Yeah.
Because you just can't move. Like I can't just move to New York City right now and start an electrical business, no matter how good I am at this.
Well,
because you just, I mean, how are you going to live there? You know, where are you going to find an apartment? That's what's happening here.
Yeah.
Or Long Island, like that area, or San Francisco. There's Silicon Valley. You can just move into Silicon Valley and start doing electrical because
there's so much demand.
Well, yeah, and then the guys that are there, they're already. It's like you're trying to break into something established.
Right.
But worse than anything is the housing. It's all about housing. If you don't have the guys that can't live there, I'm just very, very lucky to have the people that will live here. Everybody that just coincidentally has a place to live.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. I meant to ask you about that because just living here, having a team, it's one thing to have a team, but if the team doesn't have housing, living on the vineyard, it's like challenging.
Well, also, a lot of guys will get the guys off the boat. So the guys will live off Highland.
Yep.
They got to drive all the way down, get to Palmer Avenue, get on the bus, get all the way down, and that bus is packed. I saw like 200 guys getting off the other day.
Wow.
Easy, 200 people coming off the ferry.
That is
to work because it's just crazier than ever. And when I was a kid, I would tell you there was nobody coming over there.
And now it's just different.
Nobody came from off Island. That would be crazy. They all had plenty of work over there, and we had the people over here, and only maybe a few here and there, but maybe you see 10 or 20. But now it's hundreds.
So, say for instance now, I know you said you don't want any more customers, but like if somebody should actually really need to get in contact with WILLET Electric, what's even the fastest way to get to you where you'd be like, okay, I could think about doing your job, but what's the fastest way could a customer get to you from the vineyard right now, even though it would be challenging?
No, I'm not going to answer that way, bro. I don't want it. If it was an emergency, it was an emergency.
Emergency. So email?
And everybody knows our number. They get the phone number to their office, which is available, if they find it. And but unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, I always refer them to somebody else.
That is pretty cool.
So yeah, we just are. It's just like I said, there's worse problems to have. It's not always been like this. In 2009, we didn't have any work. So I've been at the other side.
I don't know. Maybe you should consider this. Instead of doing the work, you should probably build out a referral program. So now, because you're getting all that income customer.
No, I do. Yeah, I give it to the guys. Yeah, and it helps them out. I mean, for the most part, I don't try to monetize that. Yeah. But sometimes, sometimes you can, and then more times than not, we're just trying to help the customer. We're trying to help out that electrician, a newer guy, to get work. If he's
cool. So it's a win-win. I mean, cool. I always look at those things as like, okay, this customer wants the job done, this person wants the job, so I'm in the middle right there. Come on, guys, like that transaction passes through me.
I have gotten that feedback. I have gotten people say, hey, thanks for referring so and so because he came, he took care of it. That happened about an hour ago downstairs. I think were you here yet? When she said I couldn't get to her hot water heater. She had no hot water. She's pregnant. Wow. She needs it. You know what I mean? She needs to be able to have that. So my guy went over there, took care of it. We couldn't get there, so that's great.
Insane.
Problem solved. I'm not going to make money off her. So.
Well, you heard it for yourself, guys. This is Craig Willett. All right. This is another episode of MVFounders. Definitely tune into the next one. You guys are going to love the other people that we're going to have in here. But thanks again.
All right, sir. Beautiful. Right. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.